Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by yours truly. I'm Chris. I'm that guy. Welcome, everybody. Episode number 247. 3 away from 2 Schvitte. Great episode coming up for you today. As always, Shop Talk, talking that shop. If you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you can do that at Casting for Two. That's both the handles. I host another podcast with Josh Silverman from constantlycalibrating.com called Ramble Jam, and that is available to listen to every Wednesday on mixer.com/concalpod. That's where you can see the show live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, 8 Eastern. 5 o'clock Pacific, I should say. And, of course, I do video game streaming now. I stream during the week. And if you'd like to catch one of my streams, just stay tuned to the Twitter. My stream is mixer.com/MRCMH93, Mr. CMH93. But anyway, I should probably talk about my guest. My guest for today is a wonderful actress and musician, Briana Lane, and such a huge, tremendous blast chatting with her. At one point we started talking about music in the late 90s, early millennia, and that is obvious, being my age, that's the music I connected with more. So it was so much fun to chat about that. But also, she's just a wonderful person, and everybody go check out her work. But you know what? Let's get into this episode, okay? I'm tired of talking about it. Let's listen to it. So everybody sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please, and thank you.
Enjoying a nice cup of coffee in this 50-degree day in Los Angeles.
I know it's blizzard going on down there, right?
It's so weird. It's like, what? I mean, there's people, it's hilarious. You see people on the street wearing gloves and scarves and full parkas. It's pretty funny. I think people in the Midwest and East Coast are laughing at us.
Right. No, and I've lived through a Midwest winter, and if I'm not breathing in ice, then it's okay.
That's the base requirement. Yeah, I feel like people in Chicago, 50 degrees is or anywhere in the Midwest is running weather.
Yeah.
In shorts and a tee,
Well, yeah, because when I was in Chicago, I would, there'd be tons of snow out there, and I'm like, I need to walk to my mailbox. I'm just wearing athletic shorts. Who cares? I'll put on some shoes. Let's go do this.
Right.
But man. I can tell you it's a sign of the apocalypse because I'm in Texas right now.
Yeah.
And for Christmas, people would be like, oh, we got snow. I consider it freezer burn, but still, we got something.
Right. Which is great because you guys don't usually, right?
No, never. Especially in San Antonio where I'm in. Yeah, Dallas gets snow. Yeah. But yeah, San Antonio, they never get anything.
Wow. I have to say we did get hail the other day, which people thought was snow. It was so funny. People on their Insta stories it's snowing in Los Angeles. I was like, well, I think that's hail. but close, very close.
Let's make a hail man.
Exactly. Oh, what is the world coming to, Chris? I don't know.
I don't know. It's something's off for sure.
Something's weird. Yeah, we got to figure that out. Put a pin in that.
Yeah. We'll circle back to that. So
Cool.
as you can see, this is a pretty loose show.
So fun. Yeah. The best kind.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
It took me months to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Where we right. Did you start with like sort of a structure and then you're like, you know what? This isn't really serving anyone. It's more
It
fun.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
especially because I started doing this show 4 years ago, and the first couple of guests I had on, it was very much by the book because
Right.
I again I didn't know what I was doing, and then when I had a friend come on the show, I was just we were just chatting, and I was like, this is more fun. I should do this.
Should do this more often. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. 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 And it's funny too, because the interviewee is almost more comfortable too. When you started off kind of like, who cares? We're just throwing pasta at a wall.
exactly. I'm not even recording right. Oh, look.
Can we just be friends? Like,
Yeah, let's just hang out. You know,
totally.
if
Love
if
that.
if there was ever a time during an interview when what the person I'm chatting with is just like, look, turn off the recording. Let's just talk. I'm like, all right.
Off the record, let's
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Turned it off. But also it throws people off because I start the minute I answer the call, I'm recording.
Awesome.
So I'll have people just tell me when you're recording. I go, I'm recording right now. Oh, yes, yeah,
Oh, yes,
wow, wacky.
this is my professional voice.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. But
totally.
yeah, it's all good.
That's great. Yeah.
But one of the things I like, I find you very interesting
Ooh, okay. To do
because
tell.
because you not only do you do the acting,
Yeah.
but you also do the magician,
Do
the
the
music.
magicianing.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Yes. The playing of the guitar. Yeah.
nice. Okay, so what came first, the acting or the guitar?
Oh gosh. I acting like I started in like pre-high school, like school plays and stuff like that, like the typical
Hmm.
story. And but I was always inclined towards like musical theater and singing. And then I was a huge, this is embarrassing to say, but you know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. I was a huge Incubus fan. When I
Oh
was
my gosh.
13, I was obsessed with Mike Enzinger, the guitarist, and I loved his guitar line so much that I went online and like learned all the Incubus songs via guitar tabs like .com or something and
Yeah.
taught myself guitar in like high school. So technically, because of Brandon Boyd and Incubus, my music career has begun. No, but that was sort of the interesting inspiration behind it, and Incubus is great. Still, I actually still really like them,
Nice.
but yeah, so that sort of started everything. And then I went to college for musical theater, and then I started acting professionally. And then I was in a band like 6 years ago. It was sort of a trip hop band, which was
Hmm.
not totally my style, but it was super cool and fun. And it was with some friends that I knew for a long time. And we did like a little mini tour. And then after that, I was like, oh, I have to make a decision. Either it's acting or music. I can't do both. It's like,
Right.
uh, and then cut to 6 years later, I'm like, no, you can do both. And it's sort of like this new era, I feel like, of the artist where in the industry, I feel like a lot of people I'm surrounded by who are, successful actors or successful fill in the blanks. They're always doing like 18 things. Like it's never
Right.
one thing. It's always like, oh, I'm writing this pilot. And then I'm also, in a band, and then I'm also doing this, and I'm also like a philanthropist. It's like there's so many things that you can do in the city, which is great, which makes LA so awesome. So yeah, so I've been able to do both, and my heart is so happy, and I feel so fulfilled in all the ways. This past year, it sort of began a year ago. Let me know if I'm rambling because I feel the coffee kicking in,
Oh
Chris.
no, that's fine. That's fine. It's all.
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
I would love to double back on Incubus. Okay.
sure, let's do it.
Look,
I have
look,
things to say.
look. I have nothing bad to say about Incubus,
Ooh,
except I
except
I can't stand Drive.
what?
I
Okay,
cannot stand. It's now. Let me just say this. It's because it's one of those songs that was played so
it
much.
was in like 2003.
Yes,
Yeah.
and For that reason I cannot listen to them.
You know what's funny? Well, were you a fan like before that record? Like, were you a
No.
fan? Okay.
No.
No.
Now let me also say they're I think they have a album called Light Grenades.
Yes, yes.
I own that one. I own that one.
Oh, do you like that one?
Yeah, I actually like that one. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? I actually, after Morning View, that record, I lost interest
Okay. Yeah.
because like their melodies and this, they're amazing, talented musicians, and my friend actually manages them. So I really do like them. But
Yeah.
I feel as though their melodies got so complicated after Morning View and crazy. Like their pre-choruses were like in a different key all of a sudden, and then they'd go back to the regular key, and then they go to another key, and then Brandon's melody lines got crazy, and I was like, I can't follow this music. My ears are confused. Um,
Right.
and also like I think it was sort of I think that's why Brandon did a solo album, is because they were always kind of Mike and him, I think, were kind of like battling like artistically as to like what the song should sound like, and all the members, to be
Right.
honest. It's a lot of members in a band. Six, I think. Five. Oh God.
Yeah.
How big of a fan am I? Five.
Five and a half.
Yes. They have a DJ too. But yeah, so I think Make Yourself was probably the best record, or Fungus Among Us, which was one of their
Mm.
first ones, and it's super
Yeah.
weird, funky, and cool.
Yeah, no, because two of my friends growing up were huge into Incubus, and I was just so yeah. You had the Incubusers,
Yeah.
and then you had the Limp Bizkiters, which
Yeah.
is what the group I was in. I was a Fred Durst fan.
Really? Were
Yeah,
you like into Papa Roach too? And like,
I was not digging the P Roach
who?
or like Godsmack, any of those bands I wasn't listening to. There's something about Limp Bizkit that just hooked me.
Yeah, he's charming. I feel like he was super charming, and like his little rappy sing-song style is kind of unique, you know?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I loved POD too. I mean, I'm not
did
gonna
you?
lie. I loved all of that
Okay,
genre
yeah.
of music, except for Corn. I never got into Corn.
I've never been in a scenario where I'm at a bar and I see this girl and I walk up to her and I'm just like, "Hey, are you a freak on the leash?" Like, when does that happen? I don't know when that happens.
No one says that ever.
It's
And nor should they.
okay, so fun. When I was going to film school,
Yeah.
one thing I did not buy was pencil and paper because I assumed I was going to be filming, so I didn't need that.
My God, that's hilarious.
And so I needed pencil and paper. So the only store next to me was a Spencer's Gift.
Okay.
And I went into there and they had pencil and paper, but on the front cover of the notebook it had said the band Korn. And I was like, look, I can cover it up with stickers. It'll be fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So cut to me in school getting ready to write on my assignment. I opened the notebook paper, and on every page was the band's logo.
Oh, that's so good. And so bad.
Yeah,
I mean, that would take some commitment to really like, write that out, just scribble their logo out every
Right.
time you write. I mean, that's a full commitment. Mm-hmm.
Well,
What'd you
and
do?
then-
Did you keep the notebook?
No.
God,
No. Well, and it was funny because my classmates, after we got to learning each other,
Yeah.
they were like, "Hey, so like, are you a Korn fan?" And that's when I was like, "No, I'm not."
Don't judge me. This isn't who I am.
It became
yeah.
such a thing that I wrapped presents in that paper.
That's
Just because.
hilarious. Okay, question.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself judging people based on their like taste in music? Like what bands they're into?
No, not anymore. No, because I've reached the age where I don't know who Chance the Rapper is. I know of him. I don't know who Futures is. I don't know who that is.
You know what's so funny? The lineup for Coachella, like I used to go to Coachella year after year, and it was all indie bands and sort of up and coming bands that no one really knew about unless you were like in the know. And now it's like all pop music or hip hop, and it's like so different. Everything's really mainstream. And also, I don't know half of the people on the lineup, and I was like, oh God, like I just feel like there's so much music now because of like Spotify, and it's just so reachable that like
Right.
it's impossible to like know. Although, even the reason why I asked you that question was because I feel like I do that sometimes, and I'm trying to
Okay.
be better. I'm trying to be better. But like, if someone's like, "Yeah, I really like Jack Johnson," I'm like, "Do you? Do you? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just like silently judging.
Right, right.
You know,
Yeah,
but
nothing against Dave
no.
Matthews Band, but I
Oh
feel
God.
like he has his
Mhm.
core audience that maybe, you know,
I mean,
should,
I
yeah,
I love him for like ironic purposes. Like Crash is
yeah,
a classic tune,
yeah.
you know? I mean, the like just evokes so much nostalgia and memories from that time. It's like, how can you hate on that? But I do think like if you're listening to like recent stuff, it's like, okay, maybe take a step back. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, but it's just funny. It's funny that I feel like I have to stop and like de-music snob myself and just go like, Briana, don't judge them based on the artist they like. Um, like them for who they are.
But
Uh,
so you grew up an alternative person?
oh yeah, I grew up
Okay.
in Los Angeles, and I grew up. I was friends with a bunch of guys in like punk bands, and
Mm.
so I went to like Warped Tour every year, and I'm super into Rancid and like oh god, like Sex Pistols and whatever,
Yeah.
all
Okay.
the bands. And I'm like even trying the Replacements. I mean, they're not punk, but whatever. They were an inspiration behind all of Green Day's records.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was kind of into the punk scene, which is weird because I went to Catholic school, all girls, was super
Ah.
preppy by day.
Mm.
And then at night on the weekends, I'd go to like the Cobalt Cafe in Canoga Park and see like punk bands play. It was just so,
I don't know. It doesn't sound that weird to me. I feel
okay.
like
Yeah.
you gotta let loose. You
Yeah,
gotta get
right?
that energy out some way.
Yeah, you got to get in the mosh pit sometimes. Put your elbows up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's because like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm going back and listen to music of late '90s, early 2000s, and I'm just like, man, like
Yeah.
I miss this stuff.
I miss it too. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Even like hip hop. I'm a huge hip hop fan too. And
Hmm.
I would say 90s hip hop fan. Like I feel like I was super into hip hop like in sixth to ninth grade. And then got into punk. But like the old, I don't know, like Warren G or DJ Quick, like
Yeah.
all of the rappers that came out of, South Central and Compton and that during that time was so cool. And their beats were so simple. There wasn't anything, there's not a lot of singing. Maybe Nate Dogg would sing some of the choruses, but it wasn't like girl, like I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like now it's all love songs. And then they were rapping about like a moment and of time and what they were actually dealing with. And I don't know, it's just so interesting. But
Yeah, it's weird to think of. Like, I remember when Lil Wayne didn't have tattoos.
I did too when he was in the Juvenile music video, Back That
Yeah,
Ass Up.
yeah,
Oh,
when
I'm
they
not
were backing that thing up,
get that thing up. Yeah. And he was so cute. He was like 14. I remember thinking he was cute because I was 13 when that came out, and I was just like, "Who's the guy at the end? Like, back and a stop, now drop it like it's hot." I think that was his like outro or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was so cute. Oh, before his tear stains or his teardrops.
yeah, his teardrops.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's life. We get older.
yeah, we do. Yeah.
And so okay, so let's jump back to acting
Oh
because
yeah.
I like acting. We'll talk about more music. So when you decided, hey, I want to pursue acting,
Hmm.
what was one of the first projects that you were like, oh, this is something that this is it right here?
Like that I was actually working on.
Yeah, that you were like, I've made it, even though
Oh yeah. I would say my first pilot. So I left. My first job was writing for CBS for a show on CBS, sort of simple CBS.com, CBS Digital,
Hmm.
um, and I was hosting from that job, and I hadn't really like I'd done like maybe a few co-stars or guest stars, but I'd never really like worked with anyone big. And I booked a pilot for ABC and Amanda Bynes was the star, and I played her
Oh, okay.
best friend. And that was a huge moment because I grew up watching the Amanda Show and all that.
Yeah.
And like I was a huge Amanda Bynes fan. And getting to be on like a multicam sitcom with her was crazy. And that was sort of the moment where I was like, whoa, I can do this. Like, I'm not nervous. Like, that's crazy. And how cool that I get to work with like someone that I, idolized as a kid. So that was a cool moment where I was like, all right. And it was a lot of fun too. Like I was having a lot of fun and I felt really comfortable with myself. And yeah, I would say that job was probably the best, the
Nice.
turning point, if you will.
Nice. And
Yeah.
so when you are getting ready to get into character, what is your sort of preparation?
Ooh, it really depends on like what project it is and like what the character is. So for example, I did an episode of Major Crimes that came out in December and I
Hmm.
played like, one of these victims. And it was heavy crying and it was also a heavy Midwest accent. I
Oh,
was from
okay.
Minnesota, so I had to like put that on and then also like basically retell the story of being raped, and all this stuff. So I didn't talk to anyone. I mean, you really have to get yourself in the zone before.
Yeah.
And it's hard because all the actors around you are so fun and you just want to like talk right before they yell action. But I was like, guy, and I just let them know. I was like, guys, I need a minute. And they're like, totally get in the zone. And so I just shut down. I didn't talk before we rolled and then I was able to get into it. But for comedy is so different. I feel like it's so I don't know. I don't really depends. Like if it's a line heavy monologue that I'm about to say in a comedy, I'll probably go over my lines right before action.
Hmm.
But if it's just like a back and forth banter, I just like talking to the person I'm working with and being like, how are you? How's your day? What do you like to do for fun? I'm just getting, having that energy up and yeah. So there's not much preparation, I would say, for comedy, but for drama, and this is just me personally, I'm not saying like in general.
Right, right, yeah.
Everyone has their own thing. Uh, but yeah, drama is a lot more intense for me.
And for so when you're doing drama, is it harder for you to calm down after? Okay, that's a wrap. Let's all go chill. It's like I can't chill right now,
Yeah, like I'm crying still.
and you're still talking with a Midwestern accent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's also project to project because sometimes I can snap right out of it and just start laughing with like
Mhm.
tears in my eyes still, like, wasn't that fun? And then and then just I sometimes when I do that though, I'm just like, am I a sociopath? How am I able to like switch so quickly into these different personalities? That's concerning. Uh, but for that project, yeah, it took me a minute to get out of it, of course. I mean, it was kind of intense, but then once I did, you kind of have to throw it away because I feel like if actors did that all the time, it would be pretty exhausting, especially when you're auditioning a lot. Like right now, it's pilot season, and you get a lot of auditions, and you have to transition between characters and things like that. And it can be really draining if you just carry it with you.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
And do you have any bad audition stories?
Oh God. Oh God. Yes. I mean, who doesn't? Oh man, I'm trying to think of the worst one. Um, who was it? Oh my God, Friends, star Friends.
There were six of them. Which one?
Matthew
Oh, okay.
Perry, who I love. I had to do a chemistry read with him for The Odd Couple, that show.
Oh, yeah,
And this has never happened, but my knees started shaking violently.
yeah. Oh,
Like I couldn't control it. The words were coming out of my mouth normally. I was saying the words. The laughs were happening, like people were laughing. But for some reason, like my knees disconnected from the rest of my body and we're just like, we're really nervous. We're really nervous.
yeah,
And I think it's because I drank too much coffee because I was like, ooh, gotta have energy. I'm reading with Matthew Perry, like gotta like get pumped. And
yeah.
it was like too much of the caffeine and my knees just couldn't take it. So that was probably the worst, only because he looked down at my knees and I could see his eyes.
Ah.
And so after that, I like started wearing pants to audition. So, like, people here. I was like, they can't see my knees now. But now I think I've gotten it under control where where if I know I'm going to be nervous, I don't drink too much coffee.
Okay.
Coffee just kind of, it's really interesting. Auditioning, I feel like for me is all about balancing my coffee intake and taking it properly.
Okay, so what is your ideal, like, what perfect cup of coffee?
Ooh, let me tell you all the things. Okay.
Absolutely.
This is so fun because I just started drinking this little concoction. So I have a Keurig and I
Hmm.
use like the Starbucks blonde roast, which is really not great for the environment. So but I do it. Oops. I feel bad. I feel like such an asshole when I talk about Keurigs. But anyway, I use the Keurig and I put a little blonde roast in there. And then I'll put Trader Joe's soy milk creamer in it.
Hmm.
Then on top, I'll put a little cinnamon. Now, if I'm feeling crazy, I'll get the
Uh-oh.
blender out. I'll put a little teaspoon of maca in there and mix it with the soy milk creamer. My mouth's watering, by the way. This is very concerning. And I'll blend it up and it kind of gets frothy. The thing about maca, I don't know if you know anything about maca. It is crazy. It's a
Uh-huh.
Peruvian root that I don't know if it has caffeine, but it stimulates your brain.
Mm.
So it's like having 8 cups of coffee. And so you just need a little bit and you mix it with the creamer and it frosts on top. And that is like, oh, beautiful. It's great. Also, if I do French press, which I have,
Yeah.
I'll use Intelligentsia, which is a coffee shop that we have here in LA. Their coffee is so good. It
Mhm.
tastes like it's not coffee. I don't know what it tastes like. Keurig isn't like the most sophisticated way of drinking
Right,
coffee.
right, yeah.
You know. Anyway, that's a long-winded explanation of how I drink my coffee.
No, it's
Hope you
I'm
enjoy.
so no, I'm so fascinated with coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never drank in the stuff.
What's that like?
You just I don't know. I feel it's like you don't know what you have because you've never had it type of thing.
Yeah, you're
Or you don't
so
miss it
lucky.
because you've never had it. Yeah, it's
You've never
growing
got
up. My
hooked on the drug.
growing up, my dad was the one pot a day kind of guy,
Wow.
and he's not a fancy coffee drinker. It's just
Right.
coffee, cream, sugar. There you go,
Yep.
and it's just something that I've never gravitated towards. Too, I when I was working in a movie theater, I had to make all sorts of crazy cappuccinos and other chinos, and I was just like, and I could do that, but at the end of the day, I'd still be like, I'm okay. I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't need any. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
interesting. Some mornings I find if I'm like working out and eating right and like doing all the things, no alcohol or anything, I feel like in the mornings I am really clear-headed. And then when I have coffee, I feel crazy.
mm.
Like it's weird. It's like my body's like, hey, you don't need coffee, Brianna. Like, listen to us. You don't need it.
Listen
And
to your
then,
body.
yeah, just stop while you can. Um, and then I don't listen and I'm like, I'm just going to make it anyway because I'm addicted. But yeah, it's something about the taste. It's sort of like a
Yeah.
ritual. You have like a morning ritual. It's sort of like a nice little morning treat.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I look. There's nothing wrong with that unless your knees start to shake.
In front of Matthew Perry.
In front of Matthew Perry. If Matthew
Then you got
Perry's
a
not
problem.
around,
Yeah.
then okay, don't like Matt
Oh,
LeBlanc is there. Okay, maybe some knee
fine.
shaking.
Fine. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
LeBlanc,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. LeBlanc, I'm fine. Perry, oof, forget it. Yeah.
so,
Oh man. Mm-hmm.
so we should talk about. You have a new band right now,
Yeah.
called Winslow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's named after Carl Winslow from Family
You know what's
Matters.
hilarious? I wish
Yeah.
it was. And I
Ah,
have to say, he was my favorite character on that show. Everyone had their preference.
right.
And I feel like Carl Winslow was my favorite. I love Die Hard. I loved him. And like he, even though his name wasn't Carl Winslow, but I've
his name
always been
his
like,
name was
who's
Die
that
Hard in Die Hard.
Winslow? Yeah, exactly. He's the best. No, we actually came up with a name because it's the name of the street that we recorded our record on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And it was just, and also the way our logo looks, it spells out Winslow, which we found also kind of cool. Kind of like, you know, the rabbit, wait, not the rabbit. Oh God, I'm doing so bad at this. The hare and the turtle and
Oh
the
yeah,
hare,
the
the
tortoise and the
race,
hare. Yeah.
the tortoise and the hare. See, you know, and the tortoise wins, and it's sort of that kind of cool dual meaning. And a lot of our songs kind of have that theme behind it as well. So yeah, so I paired up with a year ago, well, a little over a year ago. My friend Kate Miner, who's in the band Miner,
Hmm.
and she's also an actress, but she's in the band Miner, and you know they've done a whole U.S. tour, and they just their last record they worked with Modest Mouse as producer, so they were alive and kicking, and her husband's the lead singer, and I think she kind of wanted to start her own thing and write her, she co-wrote all the Minor songs, but I think she wanted to kind of do her own thing
Right.
with another female voice. And she heard me sing and asked me if I wrote, and I was like, yes. And she's like, can we collaborate? And I was like, I thought like I was looking for a writing partner and like uh, a collaborator for so long since my last band.
Hmm.
And it was so hard to find the right match. Like I jammed with some people and the chemistry wasn't there. And I mean, it's all about energy with music. It's so weird. It's like, yes, you can like blind date a writing session with someone, but it doesn't always work. And her and I balance each other out artistically and musically. She's an incredible lyricist, and I'm very strong with melody,
Hmm.
and together we are a force. Uh,
Together we are Carl Winslow.
yeah, we are Carl Winslow. You put a blonde and a brunette, and you get Carl Winslow.
Boom.
Boom. But yeah, so it's been really, really great. Our record's done. We have music videos coming out. We have singles ready to go. And we have everything sort of in line. And we're getting ready to release our first single, most likely in March.
Hmm.
We have some label heat, so we're not sure like the exact date of the release, but you can follow us on all the social medias, the band Winslow,
Nice.
if you want to stay updated and,
Nice.
in the know.
I know. I wanna. I definitely want to check this out.
Yeah.
What was it hard? Because I'm assuming you did a little bit of music while you were acting, but then was it hard getting back into the groove of music?
No, that's the weird thing.
Hmm.
It was like I went crazy. Like she was like, "Whoa, okay, you want to write how many songs?" I came with this energy like I've been hiding in this cave, like get me out. Like I just felt so ready because I never stopped. I still on my phone record voice memos of different song ideas. I'll still pick up the guitar every once in a while. Like I never really stopped writing. Um, I just didn't have anyone to do it with. So I really missed that. And I think as a musician, I need someone else. Like
Hmm.
I write things for the TV and the films. And writing scripts, it's different because I don't necessarily need someone to toss stuff back and forth with. It helps a lot. But with music, I really need someone to back me up. It's really
Yeah.
interesting. Because the song is actually harder than you think to write. Like you can, I mean, it depends. It depends on the song, but sometimes they come really naturally, and other times you're just like, wait, what am I saying here?
Right.
Like,
Right. No, it's like with me with TV and film, you have 30 minutes to 90 minutes to flush something out versus I got 5 minutes
yeah,
and
yeah,
go.
yeah, and like, oh, I have so many ideas. I want to talk about this, and then this, and then and it's really interesting too, like the mixing process, like mixing the record and figuring out, I just feel like it is a lot like TV and film because there's different stories you tell in the mixing process. That can sound, we have two versions of one of our songs, the demo version and then the mixed version. And the mixed version sounds like a different song entirely. And it's a different vibe. So
Hmm.
it's really interesting how much I think the artist should be involved with all of that because I think it can absolutely tell a different story. Just like editing, you can write something and shoot it, but then the editor kind of has their own interpretation of it, or it can be edited,
Right.
a certain way. So there's just so many different ways to, manipulate something into what you want it to be, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So for the people at home who would like to keep up with everything that you do, where can they do that?
Oh my gosh. You can, I don't know why I sounded so surprised. Oh my God, I thought you never asked.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll talk. We'll talk more about me. Then we'll go back to you. Okay.
Okay, great. No, Instagram is great. I feel like I put a lot on Instagram, Insta stories. But I'm Instagram.com/Briana with one N, believe it or not. Briana dot Lane. Unfortunately, Briana Lane as one handle was taken by a girl named Brianna Salazar in Houston, Texas. I don't know who she is, but she had it. She got it.
That's
So
weird.
that
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Okay. For a second there, I thought you were going to say you can find me at my handle's Instagram.com.
I wish I was that cool.
It's like if I took the Twitter handle from Twitter.
Yes.
It's like,
yes. Find me on at Twitter.
At Twitter. I'll be there.
Yep, that's me. And then Twitter, I'm just Briana Lane. One word.
There we go.
That one.
Well, good.
Yes, right? Thank God. But yeah, that's the easiest way. And I just saw that you followed me on Twitter, so I'm gonna follow you.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. I'm a big follower. So
yeah, it's so great. You're so good at finding people on there too, I've noticed. I listened to a few of your podcasts too.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes,
Don't lie to
me. No, I did.
Okay.
There's an actress, there's a blonde. Oh God, now I'm forgetting her name. Okay, never mind. I'm doing a really bad job at remembering, but I just remember listening to you and just being like, he's so cool and laid back. This sounds so fun.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you a little inside story.
Ooh.
I always get extremely nervous before I talk to somebody.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's to the point where I hope they cancel. Because it's just like, oh, I don't know if our energies are going to match. Like, I don't know.
But as soon as what if they're so mean? You never know.
Exactly. But as soon as I say hi, that's like, okay, I'm good.
Words come out, then you're fine.
Yeah, it's a 2-minute freak out where it's just like, you just cancel, please cancel.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I don't want anything bad to happen, but just cancel.
Do you feel that way sometimes? Oh, I know we're almost up with time, but just like one other, like, I don't know, life thing. Do you ever feel like you kind of hope your friends cancel on you? Because you'd rather
Here's the thing. I don't have to worry about that because I know they are going to.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I have pretty flaky friends.
That's great because then they don't hold it over. They don't get mad at you when you cancel.
Right. So that's
the best case scenario.
Right. But since I can just make them feel bad.
Oh God.
It's like, yeah, you canceled on me.
So I'm canceling on you. Passive aggressive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what, Brianna, I'm going to go, I don't know, make coffee or something. No, I'm not going to make coffee.
Oh,
that's a lie.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, be open to try it. You never know.
Yeah, I made it once and I got sick. So, but I'm fully I got tummy sick.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll do that to you.
I fully put the blame on me though. I feel like I made it wrong.
Oh, well, you never know. I mean, yeah, coffee is very we could talk for another, honestly, 30 minutes about coffee. So we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, we should. We need more coffee.
We need more coffee. Oh, it was so great talking to you, Chris.
You too. And anytime you want to come back on, just let me know. All right.
Sweet. Sounds great. Yeah.
But you have fun kicking butt, all right, and listening to Incubus.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to you soon, Chris.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.